The hunt for the massive 3.2 to 4.5 meter giant Pacific swordfish begins far beyond the horizon. Only industrial longline systems can withstand the force of a 350-650 kilogram giant Pacific swordfish. In deep Pacific corridors, giant Pacific swordfish carve their paths through shifting temperature fronts. Years of tracking help locate where these giant swordfish are most likely to cross the longline. Giant Pacific swordfish follow narrow ribbons of water where prey converges in dense layers. The captain plows a path through historic strike zones known for the largest giant Pacific swordfish. Every piece of equipment must be prepared for a fish capable of shattering weaker rigs. The 150-meter vessel provides the stability required to battle a full-grown giant Pacific swordfish. Beneath the hull, the signature layers often attract the largest swordfish in the Pacific.
Preparing bait on a vessel of this scale ensures each rig can withstand the strike of a 3.2-4.5 meter giant Pacific swordfish.
Each hook must be prepared to withstand the violent strike of a giant swordfish at speed. Longline design ensures bait suspends directly in the feeding lane of giant Pacific swordfish. Strong leaders prevent a 4-meter swordfish from slicing through critical weak points.
These hooks will soon drift exactly where giant swordfish ambush their prey. The setting phase begins, deploying the longline into deep water.
Each hook sinks toward the depth range favored by giant Pacific swordfish. Surface markers help track the drifting longline across kilometers of open ocean.
These suspended baits mimic wounded prey drifting through swordfish feeding zones.
In this dim environment, giant Pacific swordfish detect prey with bursts of speed and precision. Accurate line measurement is essential for positioning bait at the depth where giant swordfish travel. The long line for giant Pacific swordfish is now fully deployed, silent, drifting, and deadly precise. At any moment, a 4-meter giant Pacific swordfish may intersect the drifting line. Every decision is driven by decades of data on giant Pacific swordfish migratory patterns.
In the twilight zone, giant Pacific swordfish may approach without warning, guided by subtle scent trails.
With the long line soaking, the crew settles in to wait for a giant strike. Somewhere below, giant Pacific swordfish patrol the dark ocean corridors. Each hour increases the chance a massive swordfish discovers the suspended bait. Historic data helps predict how giant Pacific swordfish will behave at dawn. The soaking period ends. Now the crew prepares to haul and discover what the deep has offered. The crew prepares to haul in thousands of meters of gear, hoping a giant Pacific swordfish has found their bait. Early tension readings hint that something powerful may be riding the long line below.
A surge this sharp can only come from a 3.2-4.5 meter giant Pacific swordfish driving the long line deep beneath the hull. Only a 3.2-4.5 meter giant Pacific swordfish can generate the violent torque shaking even a full-scale industrial hull. The raw force of a 350-650 kilogram giant Pacific swordfish can turn simple retrieval into a dangerous battle.
The Earl segments return clean, evidence that the giant swordfish struck somewhere deeper along the long line.
These cuts are unmistakable signs of the blade-like bill of a giant Pacific swordfish.
Something massive made contact, its power recorded directly onto the steel leader.
A
Only a giant swordfish of the Pacific can exert enough torque to deform hardened steel like this.
The crew braces. The giant Pacific swordfish may still be attached somewhere along the set.
Nervous energy spreads across the deck as each retrieved hook inches them closer to their giant quarry.
The skewed trajectory signals a massive giant Pacific swordfish, dragging the deeper sections off alignment.
Every meter brings them closer to the furious strength of a hooked giant swordfish.
Only a 3.2 to 4.5 Pacific swordfish can generate the torque capable of shaking a full-scale industrial longline.
The vessel itself reacts to the raw power of the giant swordfish below.
Every surge traveling up the line comes from the fading but furious power of a 4.5 meter giant Pacific swordfish still fighting deep below.
The giant Pacific swordfish dives again, testing the limits of the industrial system.
Only a 3.2 4.5 meter giant Pacific swordfish can drive an industrial longline system into such extreme lateral torque.
The strain on the longline reveals the full fury of a massive, giant Pacific swordfish.
Such violent thoracic strength is a signature of a... The giant swordfish has changed direction, accelerating horizontally beneath the hull. The next few meters will reveal whether the catch is truly a giant Pacific swordfish of record size.
Only a 3.2 to 4.5 meter giant Pacific swordfish can generate such explosive upward force.
Only a 3.2 4.5 meter giant Pacific swordfish can hit the longline with enough force to make an industrial vessel shudder.
The moment of surface breach is near. This is the first peak of confrontation. The giant below puts its entire mass into one last upward push.
This disruption signals the imminent breach of a massive, giant Pacific swordfish.
A 3.2 4.5 meter giant Pacific swordfish is seconds away from exploding out of the Pacific.
The first breach reveals the immense power of a 650 kilogram giant swordfish driven to the surface.
The first explosive breach showcases the immense power this 650 kilogram giant unleashes against even a full-scale industrial. The giant swordfish dives deep, forcing the retrieval system to grind under extreme loads. A 650 kilogram giant Pacific swordfish can push industrial gear to its absolute limits. Every tremor signals a new burst of strength from the giant swordfish below.
The creature's blade-like bill has already carved damage through several sections of gear.
No predator in these waters fights with the same relentless power as a giant Pacific swordfish. A signature maneuver of a massive swordfish. Dive, turn, and strike upward with explosive force.
The second breach comes farther from the stern, a sign the giant is exhausting the last of its oxygen reserves.
Even wounded, the giant Pacific swordfish fights with explosive bursts almost unmatched in the open ocean.
The giant's weight now transfers directly into the crewdoll's arms.
A 4-meter giant Pacific swordfish can still deliver a deadly burst even moments before capture.
Every piece of gore must survive enormous lateral strikes from the giant swordfish's bill.
The industrial system must apply relentless force to bring a 650 kilogram swordfish under control.
Even a 3.2 4.5 meter giant swordfish can force an industrial vessel to tremble under its last explosive burst of power.
Inch by inch, the exhausted 650 kilogram giant swordfish is forced toward the surface.
A swordfish of this scale requires absolute coordination from every man on deck. The Giant Pacific Swordfish is now directly beneath the stern, ready for the lift.
Only industrial lift gear can raise a 4-meter giant Pacific swordfish safely onto the deck.
Positioning the harness around a 350-650 kilogram swordfish requires precision under dangerous conditions.
The bill alone is powerful enough to injure a man. Care is essential as the crew works inches from danger. Few sights rival a giant Pacific swordfish rising from the ocean, its blade-like bill glinting under deck lights. At more than 4 meters, the giant dwarfs even the heavy machinery that lifts it.
At last, the crew brings the colossal predator fully aboard the 150-meter vessel.
The danger is not over. A giant swordfish can injure a man even after leaving the water. Subduing a 350-650 kilogram giant swordfish demands absolute coordination and strength from every man on deck.
A 350-650 kilogram swordfish can deliver tremendous force with each tail strike.
Only with reinforced restraints can a 350-650 kilogram giant swordfish be fully immobilized after such an intense battle.
The capture of a massive giant Pacific swordfish marks one of the hardest-won victories at sea.
Lowering a 4-meter swordfish into the frozen core of the vessel begins the next stage of the journey.
The final descent into the vessel's frozen core must be controlled with absolute precision.
Below deck, temperatures are calibrated to preserve a 350-650 kilogram giant without damaging its flesh. The creature's weight settles into the cold cradle designed for oversized pelagic predators. Proper positioning ensures even freezing through the swordfish's dense musculature.
Layered ice helps pull residual heat from the massive 4-meter frame. Once secured, the giant remains preserved for the long journey back to port. A specimen of this magnitude draws immediate attention from evaluators and buyers.
Every dimension of the 3.2 to 4.5 meter giant is logged for bidding accuracy.
Official labeling prepares the prized Giant Pacific Swordfish for competitive bidding.
Giants of this scale often ignite bidding wars among top seafood distributors. A single high-stakes bid secures this giant Pacific swordfish for export. Cold chain logistics ensure the integrity of the giant fish from auction floor to shipping container. Each crate is tracked through a digital system, guaranteeing temperature stability. The giant Pacific swordfish begins its long journey toward elite culinary markets worldwide. Only certified containers maintain the strict environment needed for swordfish of this size.
Only the finest kitchens handle giant Pacific swordfish of this caliber.
Dense fiber layers reveal the strength and athleticism of this 4-meter predator.
These details determine the best culinary technique for each portion.
Efficiency ensures every kilogram of the giant swordfish is used to its fullest potential. Final cooling prepares the giant Pacific swordfish for the hands of the chefs.
Raw preparation highlights the clean, oceanic flavor profile of this powerful pelagic predator.
Heat transforms the dense muscle into a rich, savory delicacy.
Presentation elevates the giant fish from a deep ocean titan to a refined dining experience.
Precision brings out the full character of the Giant's flavor. This taste carries the essence of the vast Pacific, where the Giant once ruled.
The Giant's firm texture responds beautifully to disciplined heat.
Each serving reflects the immense power and grace of the deep-sea hunter.
The journey from open ocean longline to fine dining reaches its celebratory peak.
Every detail honors the giant that traveled thousands of miles across the Pacific.
Thus concludes the giant swordfish's voyage from the deep Pacific to the world's elite tables.